Oh god. Oh my god. Alright, we're gonna cut it right here.
After 2 years of running 31 pounds of boost and making over 700 horsepower, my 335's M54 finally took a
That smells like oil.
The car had a weird smoking issue. We tried everything possible to fix it and it seemed to just get worse. All it took was one last pull off camera and I knew it was over. The car sounded weird, like blown weird.
It's usually like a whoosh, 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 and this one's like
A compression test showed low compression on cylinder 5. Luckily for me, I had purchased a low mileage N54 engine from the guys at OEM Garage. You know, just in case I ever needed it. We removed the old engine from my E90 and started inspecting it only to find out that the cylinder 5 injector was not sealing correctly.
Can you just pull it off without effort?
Yeah.
Gaga.
All I can think to myself was, no way. Is that the reason cylinder 5 came back with low compression? That there was a possibility that the motor wasn't blown? I was terrified.
Yep. Engine's blown. But the bright side, guys, we gained
10 psi.
like 10 psi of compression. Yeah! So the bad injector seal kind of had an effect, but it wasn't a major one.
We quickly moved on to the replacement motor. We started by stripping it down and then trying to clean it off as good as possible.
All right, so I know we're fast forwarding here a bit, but check this out. Just picked this up from the coaters and it looks great. T51R mod, powder coated in orange to match the calipers, and new look for the intake manifold. Wrinkle black with the orange accent for the letters. This is gonna look freaking dope. I know it's a bit of a Halloween theme, but I like it. Also, one other thing I didn't cover is spacer. We have here for the intake manifold. So unlike how we had it before where we had just like a paper thin spacer, this one's thicker. One, it'll benefit us because this is such a beefy intake manifold. This used to rub and it would kind of ruin the finish on this. And it's better with dispersing heat. So instead of making contact metal to metal, we have the spacer in the middle that should allow the intake temperatures to be lower. And since we are still rocking the billet raw valve cover, check out these upgrades. I'm not too familiar with this brand. I installed it. It says Paradigm or Paradigm or
Paradigm.
I don't know, but it matches and I like it. And we got yet another VTT product. Check it out. So for the power steering, it's no longer gonna look clapped, old, and it's not just gonna dangle. This is also gonna match the setup. So I guess the theme here is orange and raw billet.
Oh.
Shit, it's a lot. Goes, oh no! That is very thin margins over here. I trusted you, bro. I trusted you.
We could put a double spacer.
Wow, it's on. Here, I'll show you guys a trick. All right, so this, if you guys are wondering what this is, it was done while I wasn't even here. And it wasn't even my idea, it was Ali's idea. Crank Gar Seal was installed behind this. And then this, which I'm not very familiar with it. You said it helps with the harmonics of the engine, right?
Yes. Basically, there's like scientific things that happen. NASA, you know, it's approved by the rocket ship people. Basically, the rotational harmonics of the engine can be bad for various reasons. So this kind of, I guess, eliminates that to a certain degree.
It helps it.
And you gain a little bit of power. I don't know how true that is, but I know it does help a lot with the harmonics of the engine, making it more balanced. You need this.
I'll link it below if you guys are interested.
Yeah.
He recommends it. Normally, whatever he recommends, he's normally right about, so.
Yes.
Moving on to maintenance, which is much easier to do when the motor is out of the car. The oil pan gasket would be swapped out, and since we were already there, we wanted to tackle the rod bearings.
And for those of you guys wondering, we will be using King bearings. Normally what we use for all the cars that come into the shop. Very good experience, very reliable, price is very good. We do have plenty of these in stock, so if you guys want to get a pair for your car, make sure to check out the links down in the video's description. So rod bearing job complete. If you guys are curious at what the rod bearings look like, the ones that we took off the 50,000-ish mile motor, there you go. Some of the bearings even still have the OEM coating, so they look pretty good to me.
Valve cover gasket was next. Mine wasn't really old, but I figured, why not?
Check it out, guys. Another VTT product. This time for the power steering. Gotta replace the plastic one that's right there with this shiny, good-looking metal one, since those tend to fail. Usually they tend to break off in the back and then make your belt come out, or they just shatter in pieces and you sound like you have a rod knock, but you don't. We've had one car that came in for a rod knock repair. It wasn't a rod knock, it was this. Install is really complicated on this piece, just saying. Wow, so pretty. We have black and white, and then we have caca all around. So take a look at what just showed up, guys. New year, new setup, same dock race. Instead of bottom mount, we're going top mount this time. This is their beautiful tubular manifold. It's got the downpipe, turbo, blanket, dual wastegates this time instead of just a single one. Of course, you guys already seen the PT turbo this time. Of course, T51R mod. Shut the f up! And it looks like Ali already started by installing the water pipe, right? Honestly, we could have probably had the engine already installed, but we're gonna attempt to install the turbo kit with the engine out of the car and see if we can get it to fit. It'll just make the installation so much easier than doing it once the engine is on. Why are you laughing, bruh?
You should rewatch that clip.
I ain't rewatching shit. It'll just make installation should be easier. Obviously installing the kit outside of the car than with the engine inside. Yeah, I need y'all to help out my boy right here. He got an M440i. And he don't know if you should get a G80 or build the M440i. What y'all think, boys?
Let me know.
Let him know. He's already money deep into the M440, but he saw his X3M and my M2. I was like, M440i, B58, or G80, bro. X-Drive.
X-Drive.
Yeah.
Don't question my abilities. Yeah, I use the Torx. What's good? On an Allen. The same thing. Look, it tightens.
Quick disconnect. Vacuum ports?
It's a little bit easier than vacuum lines. Obviously, vacuum lines also work. Literally, you push in the whatever hose onto this and it should seal properly. But you do have to cut the ends on the lines straight, so when you push it in, it seals properly. Before you install your wastegate, make sure you put your fire ring on. Don't just go, oh, sick, it's installed. Shouldn't be that easy. You gotta have this, and there's a pressure. A little bit of pressure you have to put on there. Don't put your wastegate like this, because that's not wastegating anything. It has to go like so, because we do have to play around with the orientation according to the dump tubes, the dump tube and a motor mount arm. And when you route these lines, you kind of want to point them away from the manifold, but also not where they interfere with something. They have to be in a specific direction in order to proper function. Installed.
At this point, we pretty much had everything set up and ready to install. The exhaust manifold looked amazing, and so did the VTT coolant hoses, which hopefully would make things more reliable in the future. Both wastegates were installed with vacuum lines routed to the top. The included heat shield was also put into place. Everything was looking very good. Also, for those interested in my E90 build, I'll have all the mods linked down in the video's description. For those not aware, my 335 is running the B58 cold conversion. It's a pretty sweet upgrade over the stock N54 ones, and I've had a great experience running them. It's actually one of the most popular upgrades we sell on our website.
Another thing we're installing is a CSF Oil Cooler for the E90, which I was supposed to install, I feel like years ago, and I never did. And then I realized, oh crap,
this would be the perfect opportunity to upgrade the oil cooler, especially since I blew the motor. We don't know if that's contaminated or not. And we found a bunch of shavings in the oil filter. So we have a high performance one from CSF, which is plug and play and connects just like OEM. But obviously the coolant capacity is bigger and it should be a lot more efficient, which is such a simple upgrade that makes such a huge difference. And if you guys are interested in this, we sell it. So easy to remove the old one. You have 8s, 1, 2, 3. You have 2 13s and a 10 here. Not sure why they went with 3 different size hardware, but that's BMW for you. Crusty. This is probably the original one. Car has 145,000 miles. For the new one, I mean, if the O-rings look decent, you can just transfer them on. If not, just order some new ones. The CSF one installs the same way, so I'll show you guys here in a second. Again, this is for M Sport models that come with the oil cooler. Non-M Sport models don't come with an oil cooler, and you could technically do this upgrade. You would have to do the whole retrofit procedure, which would include the thermostat, the lines, and of course, this unit right here. Installed. Looks nice too. Black. Just like the DR700 setup, we prepped the new downpipe to run a single bank O2 sensor. All you have to do is drill a spot a few inches away from the turbo, weld down a port, and just run one O2 sensor. It's a much simpler setup. It helps extend the life of the sensor itself, and tuners tend to prefer it. Well, at least my tuner, Mr. David Shoup, does.
Yes, sir. HKS Exhaust, which is a system that I did show to you guys when we were doing the N55 E92 builds. But I think we have like 2 of these in stock, and that is it because HKS discontinued these a while ago. So beautiful. The mufflers, built-in resonators, and this end connects to the downpipe. Very simple to install, and I have the last 2 ones that exist in this world. So
Technically 1.
No, it's 3 upstairs.
Well, then 2, because the third one is sold. That's already sold, been sold.
that's been sold. And upstairs we have
3.
We have 3 upstairs.
1 is sold.
1 is sold.
So we got 2.
So I was right from the beginning. We got 2 in stock. 2 in stock. And they will go quick the minute I upload this video. So don't miss out.
Also, I guess I should explain why I'm switching my exhaust setup. I've been rocking the race exhaust on this car since I first got it, and I had it on an E93 as well. And maybe because I'm getting older, it's loud. Even with a single turbo build, it is pretty loud. It sounds amazing, and it paired up very nicely with the DR700 kit. Got a lot of compliments. People are always trying to figure out what exhaust setup I was running. We still sell the system on the website, and if you like loud, it's a good option for you. But since this HKS one is resonated and has mufflers, it should be a smoother, quieter sound, which is okay by me. All right, guys, it is time for the first start.
This is a big zapping sound. That was the fuel rail. Oh!
They got on me.
You good, bro?
I need workers' comp.
She's alive! She's alive!
All right, seems like the engine's good, the turbo's good, everything sounds amazing. We're gonna go ahead and put the rest of the stuff back together, and then we'll go for a drive. Oh my God.